Beste kijkers en luisteraars, welkom bij Mungra Medisch Centrum Info editie 50. Vandaag gaan wij een babbeltje houden met de kinderarts. Bent u nieuwsgierig te weten wie zij is, komt u met ons mee. Doctor, welcome in our program. Would you please introduce yourself? Who is Dr. Van Hetten really?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Tvinfo Van Hetten. I was working and living in Venezuela in the University Hospital of the East and the Petroleum Hospital of Venezuela. I studied there and made my specialty like in the arts in 3 years. And then I came here for I've been the approach to make the special place in the MISI in the hospital. So when I reached to Suriname, I was before in Paramaribo working for a short time in the hospital asset, and then I came to MMC in September of the last year. So it was difficult in the first moment for me because I leave my family in Venezuela, but I'm very happy with the opportunity that I have here in Nikeri, in the hospital.
We are also happy to have you in our middle. It's been several months that you have been working in our hospital. Could you please describe the job?
Yes, the job is very good because like kinder arts we have different and more issues than the other specialists because for example we doesn't only look the children sick, we have to look also the diagnostic, the treatment and also the prevention to the disease here in the town, and also we have to looking for the social factors that affect to the children here in Nikeri, and we have to look inside of the house, how is working the family and how is working the children's inside of the house, and we give to the family tools for work in the house with the children, and also for example if the child have fever, they know have to give a bath to the child first and then came to the SH, and here we put the treatment then. Also, we have here to look the child's neonates, right? Is premature, the son the neonat, and all the children's 14 years old and 11 months. And we look also the acute disease and the chronic disease. Sometimes we have to refer the patient to Paramaribo, but it's not so common, it's not frequently, but sometimes we have to. Apart of this, all this patient, also we have to look the patient of the RHD poly. We make the kinder poly in Wahanihan one time in the month. And also we have to look the children in the kinder of daily, in the SH and the kinder poly.
Okay, doctor. Previously, you said that you've been approached for the mission. Could you explain more about the mission?
Yes, the mission is a very more project that we are working all the hospital in that, because every month we have to travel for Cabalebo and Guayambo. Is very far places, and it's a place that only we can go by boat. Okay, we cannot take a car and go. We have to make the transportation in boat. And it's very important there because the population that live in Cabalebo and live in Guayambo doesn't have a system health care like in Nikeri, like a hospital in Nikeri, like Nikeri. We have there a poly, right, with brother and sister nurses working, and we have medicines, but it's important that the specialists go and control the envelope and the growth of the child, and also we can detect the promptly and early the infection in the children's. And it's very important because there we have a lot of children and a lot of old people. So for us it's very important to detect the disease in the children and control per month the children, the envelope. And also because sometimes the people doesn't have the source to came by the boat to Nikeri to take the system.
Okay, if during the mission you have a child that is very sick and is needed to come to the hospital, what do you do then?
That is a very good question and important because we already had emergencies there. So what we do, or what we did, We bring medicines, equipments also of the hospital, and also we have there a lot of medicine and equipment in the poly of Guayambo and Cabalevo. So we'll try to put the patient the more stabilization possible, and then we transfer the patient here to the hospital of Nikeri, to the ambulance boat that we have, and here is the other kinder art, and she received the patient and she followed the patient in the treatment.
Doctor, if here in Ikeri, how is the treatment if you have a child that is very sick and is needed to go to Paramaribo? What do we do?
Yes, we had also that kind of child. It's not so common because here we have a very good team of nurses, the kinder art, we work very good together, and also we have the personal worker of biomedical team is very good with all the equipment of the hospital. But for example, if we have a child in very bad condition that the child and needs, the patient needs on mechanical ventilator, we have to transfer to the ASET or ARCA ASET or Diaconess Hospital. But we have a really very good relationship with the kinder arts in the ASET hospital and the Diaconess Hospital.
Doctor, you have been several months in the hospital. What are the experience here?
Well, about the disease that we saw in the children's, we saw, for example, when, here is a district for rice, right? So when it's the season for burning the rice, we have several children with asthmatic and respiratory disease. So that is, in that time, is very, very common, have 12, 50 children's at NAMA here in the Kinderafdeling. And also is we look a lot of anemic and malnutrition children here in the district. So it's very important to make the control in the kinder poly and make also the measure for the weight and the length if growing good or not the child's.
Doctor, you have worked in several hospitals. If you look at the hospital before and our hospital, what can you say about it?
Well, here is very good work, be working here, because this hospital is clean. So we have here the incidence of the bacterial disease, intranosocomial disease for like infection disease, intranosocomial, we don't have here because the hospital is always clean, and also we don't use too much the antibiotic. For example, in my country, we use too much antibiotics. So sometimes the patient make a resistance, secondary resistance of the antibiotics. So sometimes we don't have more because we are already used the more heavy and hard antibiotic. But here in Nigeria, we don't have that problem because, for example, if a patient is admitted for a fracture or for asthma, the child come and go for house clean without infection because always the hospital is clean. Also here we have a lot of medicines and we have a lot of equipments like laryngoscope, the tube for make intubation, also the car for reanimation, the medium care. Here really we have a lot of medicine and we have a very good team to work. It's very good.
Thank you, doctor. Before we close our program, do you have a golden tip to give to parents and the community?
Yes, that is very important because we also we will start to make classes in the schools. In the middle school here in Ikeri, we have a project to start in this month, April, for make more motivation to the teenagers to talk with openly to the parents. If the teenager have a problem or have something inside that cannot handle the feeling, right? We will give tools to the teenagers to talk and be more near to the family, to the mom and the dad. It's very important also talk about the food because it's frequently that the people here drink Coca-Cola and soft drink, and we will give classes to introduce a little less the drinking of Coca-Cola and less the color drink and also the sweet things. And the message for all the population is first pay more attention to the kids, be patient with the kids, because sometimes in the preschooler age it's normal that the babies want to play and doesn't want to eat, so we have to be patient, go behind the child, come to eat, and maybe they take 1 hour to eat, but we have to be patient. We have also to give love, to pay more attention inside of the house. We have to be alert if the child eat, if have a good clothes for the school, if he sleep good, is not sleep good, is coughing, is have fever, okay? And it's very important to give to the children a good education. Maybe you cannot have all the source in the world, all the money in the world, but if you give the tools to your child to study and be someone in the life, that will be the most that you can do for the child.
We want to thank you to take the time to talk with us, to give our information about our community, about the service in the hospital, and we want to thank you to be present with us today. Zo, dat is het voor deze aflevering. De Polis-spreekuur is van maandag tot en met donderdag. Vrijdag de CITO's. Eenmaal per maand Wageningen PZ2, tweemaal per maand de veredelende polis. MMC staat altijd klaar voor u en biedt u de zorg dat u verdient. Ik groet u vanuit MMC. Doei, tot de volgende keer.